Back again here with the second episode about actually how to become free, how to begin to fly, how to get more energy in your life, and how to actually achieve your desired results much easier. My name is Michael Blusek, and I look forward to share my thoughts from the last 24 hours with you, and also in this video share some stories and also how these embarrassing moments from my childhood actually impacted most of my life. And if you want to know a little bit more about why this series, there will be a link below and maybe even around here somewhere with the first video sharing why it is so important to get release, free up, accept, whatever you call it, those energies of shame and guilt, very low and heavy energies. Now, I'm going to share a couple of stories in this video, but before that, as you've seen in the last video, why I do this. When I say heavy energies, like if you can imagine like a bird flying and just flying in the air, and or a feather or something like that. But imagine that you were able to fly. You were really feeling light. You're really feeling a lot of love. You're really feeling like if you want something, it's gonna be easy for you to attract it, to manifest it, to actually see it in your life. Imagine that. What happens for most people is that they really have to fight for the things that they want. And I did too for many years. I mean, I created some great success stories. I created the biggest coffee shop company in Denmark, the country I'm in. I created a cleaning company all by myself with 60 people in it in less than 4 years. I had a portfolio of nearly 20 apartments here where I live in Copenhagen. Great results. But the fact is, I really had to work hard to get these things. And where I am right now, my biggest intention is actually to still live a great life and still see and live some great things in my life, but not from hard work, not from struggle, not from a place of really I have to, but more from, like I started with, the easiness, the flow. So if this makes sense for you, if you understand this, like carrying a very heavy rucksack, a bag on yourself that's very heavy, you have to put more energy in everything, and then just easiness and flying. The difference between those two things. And from my experience and the people I work with, I'm a coach, the clients I work with, when we release these heavy emotions, it's kind of like the rucksack. The bag will get lighter and it will be easier to walk around. It will be easier to smile. It will be easier to live from love. And from there, life has different colors. So in this series, I kind of went like, if I should help someone, I would really help them with them sharing some of the things that they don't want to share. And then I went into, okay, maybe I should go that way myself. And that's what I'm doing here. So that was a long intro, and I tried to make these videos quite short. So I'll do my best. So one of the things that for many years has been a big problem for me, something that I really hid it. I didn't want to share it. And it took me actually more than 40 years of my life. I'm 49 as I share this. It took me 40 years of my life to come to a place where I was actually able to open up about this. And the thing is that I grew up, I have two siblings, but I grew up with a dad who was and still is alcoholic. And with that came a lot of traumatic experiences. Some of them I shared them on YouTube here, so you can find them otherwhere. And I know from people that I work with, they saw the videos and that made something happen inside of them because they understood that they also been hiding a lot of things. Maybe not the same, but I experienced clients, high level entrepreneurs who actually had the same childhood and understood all of this with fighting to get things. So from my childhood, I've been and still are a very emotional guy. But I did hide all of these emotions for many years. And the thing for me, how I can explain this is that we lived in a great house. I had two siblings, mom and dad. And from outside looking in, great house, big car, everything was very good, nice. We went to a private school, but that was just like a fantasy. It was just like a movie. There was something going on inside the house, and there was dad being alcoholic and other things too. But dad being alcoholic, that's the one thing that I'm sharing today. And I did not want to. I was embarrassed. Could not share this. So in my school, I didn't. I was very shameful about this. I didn't want my classmates to understand that my dad was an alcoholic. And I was very embarrassed when we were going out. I was very afraid, full of fear. What would happen? How would he show up? If he even showed up, and maybe it was late, maybe it was drunk, maybe it was. There was a lot of fear with this. And this, like I said, this was my whole childhood. So what happened for me is that I became a boy, emotional boy, who really wanted to just play like other boys and have fun like other boys. But I was always careful. I was always in fear of what would happen next. And not only that, but also a thing that was a theme for me was that when he was sober, he was a very nice guy. He was very soft, very emotional, and very creative. He was a musician when he was young, and that part was kind of like a loving dad. And I really liked that. So when he was sober, I was like, wow, this is the best. This is my dad. Ooh, now emotions coming up here. And as I began in those periods to like come closer to him and began to trust again and open up and express myself, then one day he was coming home drunk again. So this little boy trying to open up and then just being being sad again, being showing actually that I could not trust anyone. So shame, guilt, fear, the lowest kind of emotions, and I got my bag filled up with those. And actually, until I was a teenager, where as I also shared in other videos, I became a bad boy, running away from all of those emotions, running away from trying to hide it all the time, running away from the fear. So I just protected myself with big, heavy armor. Because of all of these emotions and all of this fear, all of these incidents and accidents, and time after time being afraid what would happen, how would he show up the next time. And this is very bad. So now, a couple of years ago, I started to actually share it. And even when I was in relationships with women or girls, most of my life, I would not share these things. I was so embarrassed about it. But then when I began sharing it, not many years ago, it suddenly changed my whole life because I released those emotions. I don't say it's easy, but I did do it. And at the same time, I began to have much better relationships with not only women, but also men, but the people that I was connected with. It became deeper because I started being more authentic. So I hope this makes sense. And some of the things I shared in other videos, it's very heavy incidents like police showing up and asking for my dad, and I had some friends with me, and I said he's not home because the car's not there. I didn't see him, and actually the police took me in the house and I found him in the bed and blood all over, and he was dead drunk and he smashed the car driving drunk. And I don't know, I maybe was 8, 9, 10 years old. This is not something for a boy to really, anyone should see that. That's not good. So that was a traumatic experience. Or being out playing in the garden and suddenly I see smoke all over in the house and the whole kitchen was in fire because he was drunk on the couch. Lots of those incidents, things that I didn't want to share. Now I'm going to stop this video now, so I'll keep it pretty short. That was some of the heaviest things from my childhood, but I'm going to share in the next videos some more things that I don't or didn't feel like sharing. And again, if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to watch more of these videos, this is very impactful, then please subscribe. And also, if you know someone who would very much benefit from this, people who are struggling, people, maybe yourself, maybe some of your friends or family or loved ones, please share the video with them. Please begin to talk about this. I really mean that life will begin to change when we open up for all of these things. And I also know it's very difficult. So I hope this really somehow that you can use this. Feel yourself now. Just sit a couple of minutes and go through your own emotions and thoughts from seeing this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.